pick out a random item from that bag and ask you questions related to it.
Okay, I'm excited. All children will be able to do well given the opportunity, given the facilities, given the required support, given the required encouragement. But all children are same. All children across the globe are same. They all have aspirations. They all want to be educated. They all want to learn. They all want to be someone tomorrow.
Before we start talking about something very serious like leadership, education and education equity, let us begin with something very simple.
With that, we have a small segment called School Chale Hum. In this segment, we're going to pick up a bag, pick out a random item from that bag and ask you questions related to it. So, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready and excited.
Go with it. Oh wow.
Report card. Gives me terrible feelings. Mom, so what feeling does report card give to you?
For me personally, when I see the report card or when a report card is expected, then you are tense and you also want to know whether you have done well or not because it indicates your performance. So it is a time of tension as well as also a time of excitement. If you have done well, if you know that you have done well in the exam, then you cannot wait for the report card. But if you have not done well in the examinations, then you know that you have not performed well. So you dread the report card.
Any personal experience you have with the report card? Like anything you want to share?
Is when it comes to the report card, I was a good student. In school, I was a good student, so that's why I would always wait for the report card to come out. Yes. So that is my experience, my own experience with report cards.
Wow.
Mom, let's see what's in the bag next.
Okay, I'm excited.
So, drawing book.
Drawing book. Oh, that's a new drawing book.
Okay.
We have over here. Ma'am, did you like drawing when you were? No, it's empty.
Okay.
Like, it's new. It's very new, and we left it empty because we wanted to know what you would love to paint in this book. If you were given a chance to draw a portrait of any famous person you like, who would it be?
If I was given the chance and if I was a good artist, I would have painted or I would have sketched Mother Teresa.
Ma'am, maybe know the reason why.
Mother Teresa was one person who touched lives. Who touched lives of people at the lowest rung of the society. She gave her all without even the world recognizing, she would still have given her best and touched lives.
Yeah.
And it's important to touch lives. Our lives impact so many people. So whether people see, whether people acknowledge or not, we have to touch lives positively. And she's one person who has impacted so many lives. The people whom she has impacted directly, and also people whom she has impacted indirectly like us. We have not met her, but then she has still impacted our lives because of her work, because of her dedication.
Yes.
So we all should continue to impact lives positively, whether directly or indirectly. We always pass on a strong message to people around us.
Yes.
Really motivating, ma'am.
Yes. So I would like to, if I could, I would like to sketch her. Yes, and the simplicity of her life.
She was
simple, but then the kind of impact she has left on all of us.
She was truly an inspiring
personality.
Yes. And I would also love to draw flowers. Yes. No, given a chance, I would also love to draw flowers and scenery because the colors it brings to our life. The joy by seeing those flowers. So I would love to draw flowers. And of course, I see some plants here.
Mom, do you have any school memories related to drawing classes maybe?
Yes, in school, of course, I'm not a good artist, but then like I drew sceneries, and I come from Nagaland, where you have the mountains, the rivers, the beautiful scenery. So that I can draw. Yes. So
Oh,
that was always in my drawing book.
Beautiful, ma'am.
And what about you? What have you drawn given a chance?
ma'am, I would draw Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He's my favorite cricketer, and I really look up to him as an idol.
Okay.
Ma'am, I aspire to be an architect in the future, so I draw buildings.
Okay, okay. And why Dhoni? Of course,
Ma'am,
he's a famous personality,
yeah.
a good cricketer, played for this country, but why him?
Ma'am, it's his quality. It's about how he maintains his calmness, his demeanor in the game. Like, patience is everything, and I think he has them in spades. And he's working very hard, leading the team, motivating others. So that's what it is,
Yes.
and I love that quality of his.
So it's very important for all of us how we live our lives.
Yes.
Many people watching us, although we might not be aware of it, but how we impact lives. Dhoni might not know us, you, but then the kind of impression he has left on all of us.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have to live lives which are positively impacting people's lives.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, listening to your school memories made us think of our own too.
Yes.
And thank you for all your motivate talks, ma'am.
So, ma'am, we have come here as a group of 12 students from 4 different states. Each of our schools are very different from each other. And,
Some of us have studied in big schools, and some of us have studied in small ones, and some of us don't even have many facilities at all.
so now we want to talk about how different schools play a very major role in shaping a child's experience in school and his future. So,
So we'd like to ask you a few questions on
education, how
education
schools
and
affect
yeah.
schools, and how your school was different from our school. So
Okay.
the first question is, ma'am, how was your school different from the schools you see today or the schools you're working with today with respect to education?
I studied in a private school, not a government school. And I was fortunate enough to have the basic facilities in the school. My teachers were regular. I had a playground. Like in some of the schools, these are not available even today. But I had the basic facilities. The teachers were very supportive. I had teachers who would relate with us, identify with us, sit with us, and encourage us to pursue our careers. And that is why I'm where I am today, because of my teachers, because of my school, because of the peer group at that point of time. But in those days, we did not have all the facilities which you have like today.
Yeah.
Your labs, your computers, the gadgets. We didn't have all these facilities. For the first time I saw a computer was when I had come to Delhi. Yes. So that was the first time I saw a computer, because then we did not have computers. We did not have those facilities. But then if you are willing to learn, even if you do not have the facilities in the schools, given a chance, our young people, the students, given a chance, given the facilities, even at a later stage, we are able to learn and we are able to adapt. That I know. So my school was very different from the schools which you have, the schools where you are studying now. But all children are same. All children across the globe are same. They all have aspirations. They all want to be educated. They all want to learn. They all want to be someone tomorrow. So all children are same, wherever across the globe. So we should encourage each other. Yes, aspirations are same, objectives are same. Even the parents, they all want children to do well.
Yes.
Yes,
From
ma'am.
whichever school or from wherever part of the country. So all children are all on
I
same
totally
page.
agree with you.
Yes.
So how do you think the future world would look like if education equity was promoted, wherein children are provided with facilities that are needed rather than providing resource equally to everyone.
Rather than
Rather
providing.
than providing resources equally to every child, than providing need-based.
Resources.
Like if we provide resource to a child based on their needs in education fields, how do you think the future globe would look like?
Well, definitely, if it's need based. See, right now, what is happening is there are children who are really in need.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but they don't get it. There are children who have sufficient, but still they get more. So there is a lot of inequality even in our education area. So we have to address those issues. And given an opportunity, all children will be able to do well. All children can do well, given the opportunity, given the facilities, given the required support, given the required encouragement.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So all children can do well. We all have the capabilities, whether you are children from Gujarat or from Nagaland or from across the globe. Like all children, you have that capability, you can do well. But then the resources should be provided to all children so that they will be able to access those resources and optimize it and learn. Yes.
Ma'am, very well
Yes.
said.
True.
Because
That's
there's a
truly
lot of
insightful.
inequity.
Yeah,
Yes,
there
even
is.
in the education area.
Ma'am, so listening to your words truly made us, truly gave us the food for thought actually.
And
Good,
made us
good.
think about equity, equality, and how education, how children can use the resources and work hard to build their future.
Yes, all children,
Yes.
they have the capability, but we have to nurture them, we have to guide them. Unless we do that, unless we give them the opportunity, how do they thrive? We want our children to thrive, to do well
Yes.
in life. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for that. And next, we'd like to move on to talk about leadership. We imagine sometimes a leader who is very powerful and sometimes who gives instruction, but when we really look around, we don't really find that, right?
No, I don't think so. Leadership is just about having power or having the most say or telling people to do something or giving instructions. I think it's more. There is more to leadership. So, with this, we would like to begin with our first question. Ma'am, what is leadership according to you? How do you define leadership?
To me, a leadership is a position where you are able to lead the team, where you are able to lead your people with that experience with pragmatism, where you are also able to build the capabilities of your people. So that is leadership for me. And you take them, a leader should be able to provide that direction to the team. Provide direction in the sense, not directing them, but provide the course of direction to the team so that they move forward. The team leader should enable the team members to thrive so that they are also able to contribute positively and not suppressed. The team leader should be a person who should be able to provide the right direction to the team, but at the same time should also realize the pragmatic problems, the challenges faced by the team, and should be a team member, not just a leader, but should also be a team member working with the team.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, so what do you think are the core values of being a leader?
So the core values of being a team leader is one is the integrity. Yes. You should be a person with integrity. You should also be a person who has knowledge of what you're working for. You should have a knowledge of your team members. Yes, the advantage, the disadvantages of each of the team members so that you can bring the best out of each team member.
Ma'am,
Yes,
how do you relate empathy with leadership?
Well, when you talk about empathy, unless you put yourself in the place of your team member, you cannot empathize. Your teachers might be facing problems in the rural areas, in the most remote areas. But if you have not seen that remote area, have never been to the remote area, you would not have realized or recognized the problems which they face of connectivity, of the network issues. So you would not be able to empathize with them unless you have reached those places. Team leader, a leader should be able to empathize with the team members. And to do that, he or she should be place himself in that position, have been to that position, then only you can empathize.
I think we've spoken a lot about leadership, equality. So I think we can move on to lighter subject. So
Okay?
I
Okay?
think
Mom, so I think all these serious conversations are over, and are you ready for the fun part now?
Okay.
yeah. So we have a
Game.
small segment called
Jaldi batao.
So in this segment, we are going to ask questions, random questions, quickly, and you have
Okay.
to answer very fast.
Mom,
Okay.
so they're just quick questions and quick answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Who was your best friend in school?
Ashe.
Mom, your favorite teacher?
Ira.
Favorite subject?
English.
Mom, favorite sport?
Oh, Coco.
Oh, cuckoo.
Yes.
Coco. What is your favorite food?
Ah, favorite food? That I love the dessert. Yes.
Mom, so inside learning or outside learning?
Inside learning.
Playgrounds or classrooms?
Playground.
Playground.
Yes.
Mom, classes or breaks?
Breaks.
Exams or homeworks?
Homeworks.
Oh, ma'am, you told us you like playgrounds more than classrooms. So, how do you relate with playgrounds, or do you learn better in playgrounds, or what does playgrounds teach more than classrooms?
See, I'm not a sports person. But then we always had the drill, and then in the playgrounds we could make friends. Then there are also so many learnings from the playgrounds.
Yeah.
So when you play volleyball or when you play a game outside the classrooms, you're able to make friends. You're also able to spend time with your friends. Yes.
So you also mentioned Coco. So I'm
Yes.
interested to know what all sport did you have when you
See,
were in student?
when we were in school, we had basketball. Of course, soccer was not played by the girls then, but then we had football, we had volleyball, we had basketball, coco. Then we also had those days we called it tourniquet. We called the ring. Yeah. Then we had table tennis. So those were the games which we played when we were young. Yes.
I love playing.
Kabaddi also we used to play.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's my favorite sport
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
I love playing football.
Football.
Yeah.
But those days, girls were not allowed to play. But then we were not introduced to football. Now the girls are also playing soccer.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I like watching the women's
Yes.
football league.
Yes. My daughter is also a very good soccer player.
Yes.
It's really nice. Mom, so how do you think gender biases in playgrounds can be maybe
Reduced. Curbed.
reduced or better?
Yeah, so when you talk about gender bias, yeah.
Especially in playground
Yeah,
areas.
playground. So I was saying that earlier we were not introduced to playing soccer. We, in the sense, the girls were not allowed to play football. It was meant only for the boys. But now that has changed. Girls are also playing football, even in our areas. Elsewhere, girls were already playing soccer or football. But then in our part of the country, girls were not introduced, maybe not a lot, but then we did not know that like girls can also play football at that point of time. So these are, when you talk about gender biases, but these are changing.
Yes.
So girls, boys, we can play all games. Yes.
That was really insightful.
Yes.
Ma'am, so I think we're done with the fun part as well now.
Okay.
Ma'am, so we're not just the children who are listening to you right now, there are many children out who are listening to this conversation. A message to them.
A message to all the children that you're all capable. You're all equally talented, provided you give your best. And I would also like to seek the support of the teachers, the parents, to give support to the children. because all children, they have the capability to do well. On the part of children too, we have to give our best.
Thank you to our wonderful guests for sharing their insights, wisdom, and stories. And thank you to our audience for tuning in. Stay connected, keep the dialogue going, and meet you in the next episode. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a privilege for me.
Thank you for being there, ma'am.
Thank you.